Hey everyone, and welcome back. Have you ever been scammed by a taxi driver? Well, let me tell you about a time when a Russian taxi driver scammed me in St. Petersburg. And this could have been avoided if I had booked an Uber, right? So stay tuned to find out more about Uber's new shuttle bus service, advanced vocabulary such as announced, book, a fraction of, rate, and tip, and some fun facts along the way. So picture this. I had just landed in St. Petersburg, probably the most beautiful city in the world, and I was excited for my trip. I hailed an authorized airport taxi, and everything seemed fine at first. But when we arrived at the hotel, the driver demanded 3 times the agreed fare. And then it got worse. He threatened to drive off with my luggage, which was in the boot of the taxi. So the boot, British English, and the trunk, American English. So my luggage was in the boot. Long story short, I ended up paying 3 times the agreed fare. Not a great way to start a holiday, right? So scammed. Has this ever happened to you? Drop a comment below with your taxi horror stories. Now, let's be honest, this whole fiasco could have been avoided if I had just booked an Uber. Speaking of Uber, they've recently announced a new service that could make it cheaper and more convenient for you to travel, especially to and from the airport and big events. It's called Uber Shuttle, and it's essentially a bus service offered by Uber. Are you ready for the read along with me? Let's do this. Transport company Uber has announced a new service that could make it cheaper for people in the US to travel to and from the airport and other popular places. It's called Uber Shuttle, and it's really just a bus service offered by the company. Whether you're a traveler, sports fan, or concert goer, get ready because Uber Shuttle is arriving soon, said Uber's Anthony Roux when the news was announced in the middle of May. Uber users will be able to book up to 5 seats on a shuttle service to big events and airports from a central place. It might be useful if you're at a big out-of-town concert and there aren't enough regular Ubers or taxis, for example. Uber's shuttles will have between 14 and 55 seats, and people will be able to book up to a week before they travel. The company says the cost of the shuttle will be a fraction of the price of a regular Uber. In one example Uber gave during the announcement, the price of the shuttle was about 1/3 of the price of a regular Uber. The shuttle, which has previously been tested in India, will be available in some US cities this summer to help people travel to and from events. As for airports, Uber has not yet said which ones the shuttle will be available at. When it is available, users will see the shuttle as an option in their apps, and they'll be able to rate and tip shuttle drivers just like regular Uber car drivers. Hey, what's the biggest event you've ever attended? Let us know in the comments below. Now let's dive into some vocabulary from our reading passage. First phrase is announced. T sound, announced. Past tense of announce is announced, and this means made a formal public statement about something. Uber has announced a new service that could make it cheaper for people in the US to travel. The company announced a new policy last week. Second phrase, book. To arrange for someone to have a seat, a room, whatever, at a particular time in the future. Book a hotel room, right? Uber users will be able to book up to 5 seats on a shuttle service. Reserve. You should book your tickets early to get the best seats. A fraction, a fraction, a small part or amount of something, a fraction. So the company says the cost of the shuttle will be a fraction of the price of a regular Uber. And the new method costs only a fraction of the old traditional one. So it's cheaper. Last on the list is rate and tip. And this means to evaluate, to rate, and to tip to provide additional money for good service, rate and tip. They'll be able to rate and tip shuttle drivers just like regular Uber car drivers. Hey, after the meal, you can rate and tip the waiter through the app. Rate and tip. Would you use the Uber Shuttle service? Hit the like button if you think it's a great idea. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to hear more from us, learn more advanced vocabulary with precise pronunciation, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me today. Ciao.